Feature Friday.
The freshest. Alright, exciting. This is another new name for us, and I love first times, and this was really requested in the last Gigi Delana video where we watched this song.
Does that have hot coffee in it?
It's just
Would
a
you like to
little
live
bit
on the edge, dude?
left. Just a little bit left.
It nearly fell on your leg.
It won't burn me. I already burned myself with this today, so fine.
But anyways, Dessa's been very requested.
Yeah.
And it's the first time we've seen it, and certainly very interesting, and I think it goes with the theme of the channel to always discover new music and
That's
new
right.
artists. So let's give it a watch.
The interesting fact is this is one of those really hard songs, Better Days. We just watched Gigi perform, so I'm really looking forward to this. Yeah.
Silver gray hair, neatly combed in place. There were 4 generations past her eyes. She'd seen it all.
See, it's interesting how, I mean, obviously different people will have different takes on things and different, I guess, showcase of technicalities. But she's certainly very peculiar. Go on.
Her choice of doing this in a very pulled back sound aesthetic from a vocal standpoint is one of those pulled back performances where it's really grounded but it's never full fold, so you're in a really thin full setting. It's so difficult given this choice of song because it's so rhythmically forward. You really need to be as grounded as in control as possible. Given the difficulty of the track, the piece itself, it bounces off and on and off. In the you know, the intricacies of the melody, they're all over the place and they're very rhythmical. It's like a death sentence for somebody who doesn't know how to do it in this way. In the original track, because I had to go back to the original track yesterday actually, to remind myself what the original intent of the song was, and to be completely honest, man, it's a difficult song. No matter
it is a very
where, no matter who sings it, you need to have a certain level of not only vocal capability but musical knowledge and also vocal knowledge. You need to be so in control. It's one of those songs that require a lot of vocal technical knowledge and lots of years of practice. But done in this particular way,
I think
it's like amping up the difficulty level by 10. You know,
I think it's gonna be very interesting to see if she sort of maintains that type of approach, which I think she might. But let's give it a watch.
She could. I mean, this is just only letting you know I know how to do this.
No, of course.
Possibly could make it harder for myself.
I'm not doubting that. I'm just it is an interesting intensity to maintain.
It is. That's what it is. It's very intense.
Yep.
I was trying about 3 or 4. Tell me away. No.
And then you hear that full fall come into place, and right towards the end of that singing line, before the whoa whoa, you hear that switch before thin fall into that full fold of full contact in the vocal technique. It's just hard, man.
She's certainly
showcasing hard.
She's certainly showcasing a lot of things.
And the cool thing right here, right now, though, it's that it's so easy for her. She's really enjoying the moment.
I think she really enjoys showcasing such, because I think also the song does. It's probably one of the songs.
Allow you to do that.
It probably does allow you to. I think it's also a song that requires a lot of character. So, like, you know, we saw like Gigi's take, right? And
it's such a storytelling song, though. It requires a lot of the singer.
Yeah, lots of character involved.
Yeah.
I said, how can I be sure what is right or wrong? And why is what I want always take so long? Please tell me what is God living, why won't he talk to me?
Yeah, definitely full fold there.
Yeah.
It's like super contact, super grounded.
Full,
yeah.
I say, Grandma, what is love? Will I ever find out why is the pool? What is life about? I want to know the answers before I fall off to sleep. Again, but
Nice, it's been dragged, really nice.
was likely, remarkably.
doesn't help anybody. The freaking chord progression is so random. Coming off of the chorus into the verse, into the second verse, you have such a weird diminished progression right towards the end, because you move.
My lip bleeding.
No.
I feel like I hit myself with a straw, and this is a metal straw. And they just stabbed myself. I think I'm fine.
You're not bleeding.
Well, that's good. I feel I'm fine, mate. Just saying. I just taste blood. Turns on my vampire.
Yeah. So sorry. We go back to the point. Here it's interesting though, because those progressions from a major like chord progression into a diminished to go back into a new sequence in the verse, it's so hard to do. It's like so hard to get used to. Obviously when you know the song really well, these are things that you just do. But from a vocal movement standpoint, they require so much mental foreseeing movements. So like you need to know where to go in order to actually set the larynx in the right position, because you could be overshooting it or undershooting it too. So you could be flat into the entrance, right?
Sure.
So it's really weird, man.
She
This
does.
song is so hard.
She also has lots of mannerisms, which is very peculiar.
really
like so
nice.
many.
And I love them though. They're
Yeah,
really
well-
nice. They're really charming.
They're what makes a person a person.
Slowly she rocked, look at her see. Grandma young and she stretched, then she started to speak. I said, how can I be sure when it's right or wrong? And the morning's gonna come and the time is right. Can't get to better days that you make it through the night.
Yeah, and even sometimes there are solutions.
You can get to know better days unless you make it through the night. You gotta
Listen to that. What the hell?
be patient.
Oh God.
Wow, does
What
she do
the
jazz? I wonder if she sings jazz.
I think she would do wonders in soul.
Yeah, but
Such a soulful singer,
say-
man.
yeah, bit job, bit jazz, bit soul. Why not mix both? You know.
Make it a thing. I love her display. This is like vocal acrobatics. It's
you
basically,
see-
it's like a what. I understand why, like for example, you see like a cover from Gigi, and you're like, yeah, this is like all over the wow
Did you
factor.
hear us sing this
right?
yesterday, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why this is such. It's a great point of reference, just to call out different artistic differences as well, because it's. I always love to hear the different versions from the same song, because like they become so rich in their own way. For not and for doing their own thing. Like it's really is. Because it's not radically different. They're actually really alike in structure and delivery and whatever. But they're so different too because of their artistic choices. And it's so refreshing to watch.
Very refreshing.
Indeed. I am a bit like gobsmacked
It is.
at
It
this.
is. His. I guess.
It's like technically speaking, it's like, wow, man.
Yeah,
wow,
here's I
what the
guess
hell?
what the
Wow.
argument would be, right? So the discussion would be, okay, so you sort of have this show coming up, right? And it's the Wish Bus, very popular, so everyone watches it. Do you go there and do you just, do you do a more sort of performance in which is led more through musicality and harmony, melodious? Or do you go there and you kind of take on another dragon, and that dragon, it's more sort of like a showcase of, vocal technicalities and perhaps very alluring and appealing to a specific crowd that may really enjoy this sort of breaking down stuff. But you do run the risk then of sort of it may not become as mainstream, because there is so much going on. If there is gonna be a place though where it does become more mainstream, it probably is the Philippines, because vocal showcases and vocal technicalities are really appreciated by the crowd, which is very peculiar, I think, and I think most people would agree, of the Philippines, in which, because of the pedigree of singing naturally is so high, if someone can do, things like those, showcase different vocal an array of different technicalities, it will be very well appreciated. And I think that's, I mean, again, that's sort of the dilemma. Which approach do you take? I think in other parts of the world, I don't think many people would take this approach. I actually think more people would lead to the
The safer route.
the lesser, lesser conflicting route. But if you're gonna take the more sort of conflicting, the bigger monster, I think if you're gonna do that, probably the Philippines is the place in which you should. Because if you do win, you win. I think you'd win the appreciation of a lot of people that also know about singing.
I have to be honest, Efra. I don't think it's a choice they make based on. I think it comes from comfort. What song am I comfortable singing right now? And that just shows what they naturally listen to and practice often. Because a lot of the times when we've had the lovely opportunity to talk to a lot of the artists that go to the Wish Bus, and a lot of their choices come from what am I singing right now. So it's more about what am I really comfortable with, because that's the main priority when you go to the Wish Bus. You want to be comfortable because it's an uncomfortable environment.
Yep.
So comfort is like number one priority. So I would think perhaps this is something that she has sung through the years and she's really comfortable. She really knows really well, rather than it's a let's make an impression type of approach. I think it comes from what do I know best?
You don't think it comes from that idea?
I don't think so.
Let's blow people's minds away here.
Personally, I don't think that's how they in the Philippines they approach.
I'm not saying the Philippines in general. Perhaps I shouldn't generalize in that manner.
But more often than not, I think that's where this.
I think that probably plays a part. I certainly think so.
I think I personally in this specific case, I definitely see more of a
comfort rather than seek to impress.
Exactly, and I think it's the wow factor comes naturally given the piece. But I also find that she's really comfortable in this piece, something that perhaps she has been singing for a really long time.
I think she's an entertainer.
Also true.
That's what I think.
Let us know what you think from that.
But yeah, I don't think any of them sing there. I'm gonna attempt to prove that I sing. Nah, probably not.
I don't think so.
That's unlikely. I think even if you go in there like that, you're gonna mess up, dog.
Oh yeah, you're
gonna over sing. You're gonna over deliver. It's not gonna be pleasant. So she doesn't. Dessa doesn't seem to run this risk. She certainly seems to be very experienced though, and obviously very settled in this way of singing. It was just an interesting thought that came into my head, because I think it's very peculiar. That I think is peculiar of the Philippines, that you can take both approaches, and mostly in the West you only have one, really,
Yeah.
Because even the pedigree of singers that are available to do such things don't have the capability of fighting the bigger dragon. They don't have that. They don't have those capabilities, those skills.
That's right.
Have a turn of spring. Heaven sent angels down and gave grandma her wings. Now she's flying and sliding and gliding in today. Getting bummed and bruised, but life gets in my way. I can still hear my grandma say, I can hear it say. You can get too much melodies.
Woo!
You will see the world better days. But you gotta be patient,
Damn, holy freaking guacamole!
There's so much, right?
Wish exclusive.
Bloody
Oh
hell.
my God, Jesus!
1075.
No,
But I think she knows, though. Like it's the arrangement she decided to go with, because they all seem to be, fairly what would you call them? Yeah, purposeful, planned out choices. Certainly, that's the way I think. If we were to look at a rehearsal, it would be very, be the same.
Yeah.
Maybe she did let loose a bit more just for the sake of
performance.
the show.
Yeah, performance. Yeah.
I guess those nerves turn into excitement, and then you do things. And when you're that skillful, you do good things.
Well, it comes. I actually think that freedom only comes when you're really accustomed to the
Yeah, yeah,
piece. Like you take those liberties because you feel so
You truly
reassured.
understand that.
Yeah.
You know, you truly understand the piece. Same in percussion.
That's right,
You
that's
truly
right.
understand the piece. You know the sounds that weren't in the original, but you can add.
And that can actually highlight the beauties of the original piece. I
think
have-
a lot of people are gonna go crazy, and I'm sure they did go crazy when this came out because there's a lot of vocal.
like crazy acrobatics, not
Yeah.
gonna lie, and really interesting choices and really well done technically from a technical standpoint. Display of vocal capability, which is not often seen. You know, especially in this type of pieces where even the original singers didn't have the most sound technique ever. Like, you know, you had singers, especially from this era, that their mannerisms and ways of singing were just kind of like adapted as the years of career kept rolling by. It was never structurized, so a lot of bad habits and a lot of you know, unsafe practices. But in this particular performance that we just watched, we're seeing really sound singing technique, like really solid approaches to vocal display, and that makes me happy, man. That makes me like, whoa, that's so
I'm
good.
sure a lot of people like you, like that, like to love to break this sort of.
Oh, it's so
technically
satisfying.
down. I'm gonna love this. But anyways, let us know what you thought about it, and maybe what else we should check out next. I'm sure there's plenty more names that we're yet to discover.
And
But
if you have any live performances from Dessa that you'd like us to check out, leave it down in the comment section below.
goodbye.